Hello, YouTube. Yes, it is I'm back to review a new movie that literally came out 3 days ago. That's right, I got it in the shot. Now you know where I go for all my reviews. I go to AMC. So if you're looking for a new Nicole Kidman AMC, you know where to hit me up on my YouTube channel. I'll see you in a bit. Welcome back to my channel. This is another handsome review with your handsome host. It is I, Jamiel Sorita. I hope you like the intro. I'll try to make it a little bit different, showing my experiences as I get ready to watch the movie to review it for you guys. I do it for the fans. No, I'm just kidding. I do it because I love this. I love movies. I love to talk about it. This is where I feel at home. So I hope you enjoy the video. So we're going to talk about Black Adam. Black Adam made $67 million this weekend for its opening weekend, which is pretty good considering it could be a lot lower. I think it was projected to be around like 62 to 65. They weren't totally sure, until it happened. And then by Sunday, they already confirmed it. And this is actually one of Dwayne Johnson's biggest openings as a lead actor. So, congrats, Dwayne Johnson. It only took a project that took 15 years to make in order to be his own record. So that's pretty good. Now onto the actual movie. The movie, before I watched it, had a lot of mixed reviews. I didn't spoil it for myself. I made sure to watch it before I really made a decision and, before I can review it and everything. So, I made sure to be in the theaters, as you can see. So I just want to talk about the standout of the characters. Black Adam, starting with him. I thought he was pretty good. He was very believable. I think it's because he's like 6'5", 6'6" feet tall that it really does look like him. Like he could become a superhero. And that's why I was very excited when they announced that he was going to join DC. I mean, I really preferred him to do Marvel because, let's be honest, they make better movies. But I'm equally as excited for this project. And so, I went to see it in theaters and Black Adam stood out. Dwayne Johnson as the character feels very much like Dwayne Johnson was meant to play him. It does feel a little different than what I'm used to with Dwayne Johnson, which is good. Because, really what acting really is all about is like the transformation of one person into all these different characters. And Dwayne Johnson knows what works for him, which means that a lot of his characters come out the same. It's like a different version of Dwayne Johnson. Like now, this could have easily been like Super Dwayne Johnson, the movie, or I guess Super The Rock. But I felt like it was very different. It stood out. He did a great job, a very believable performance because he's this huge guy, but also in the way that he performs the character, you believe it. You believe that he goes through a lot of messed up stuff. Like in the story, he loses his son, and that becomes kind of like his obsession, this idea that he's not good, and that something happened. And it turns out that the reason why he's like obsessed with like, I'm not a hero, I'm not this or that, is because he's living with guilt. Because, as I mentioned before, spoiler review, okay, you've been warned. Basically, he feels like he killed his son. His son was actually the champion of Kahndaq, which is in the introduction. You see this boy fight, and it turns out that he reaches the place of eternity, the Rock of Eternity, and he gets the powers. And it looks like in the movie, the way they edit it, he turns into Dwayne Johnson. But actually, Dwayne Johnson's final form was on the main boy's dad. So the champion of Kahndaq and Black Adam are actually two different characters. Maybe two versions of the same, superpowers or the same superpowered character. So I really thought that twist was really good. It explained why he was so obsessed with this idea of not being a hero and, just hurting people. Because he wasn't really trying to be a hero. He was going for revenge. And that is explained really well towards the end of the movie. Now, I really did like the character. I felt he was really entertaining. His powers were really great, the lightning, the thunder. I saw some reviews where they said like the slow motion parts of the movie was really weird, but I actually really enjoyed it. Because it was similar to like what you see with the character Quicksilver in the X-Men movies, where everything kind of slows down and he's like able to fight and deflect everything. He had really good music, including on the song Back in Black. So that was really like on the nose because he's known as the Man in Black. And then, a big part of the story was his relationship with this little boy. And I think, it's supposed to mirror the fact that he lost a son and all that type of stuff and help him ground himself in the world that he's living in now. He becomes like friends with the boy. And that's kind of informs a lot of the actions that he does because, in a way, it feels like he sees this boy as a surrogate son, as a son that he lost. Especially the son that could have been like a superhero that could have changed the way Kahndaq worked. Because according to the movie, it was basically conquered for many centuries by other conquerors, especially foreign invaders. So, something that's very realistic to like the relationship that happens in the Middle East, the politics and everything. It was very, if at times it felt very political because of the character on who actually is like one of the leads, who's this woman named Adriana. And she's one of those people that was fighting for the rights of the people in Kondak, and got involved with this relic that also included the Black Adam character as well. The one thing I didn't really like too much was the villain. I mean, I thought it made sense a little bit, like his normal form was basically this guy who's just trying to take over, and he relates to the original king, who is seen as like the villain in Kondak before, and he's like the descendant. So, in a way it makes sense. You would expect that the ex-kings at some point in their blood would try to fight for power as well. So that's exactly what happened. And then he turns into like this devil monster. I thought the devil monster looked okay. The CGI was kind of weird looking for me, but I thought it was okay. I did like the character of Dwayne Johnson, and really the part that stood out was the JSA. Justice Society of America, basically like an earlier, different version of the Justice League with different characters. So I'm just going to talk about the characters. Hawkman was definitely given like the biggest part of the story because of his feud with Black Adam. The whole time he just wanted to arrest him. He wanted to take him down. He saw him as a threat. And I really like the character Hawkman. I have to say it really stood out. He's like those serious type of characters I used to get a lot in like I would say like the 80s and 90s type of movies where he's like, I don't like jokes. I'm very serious all the time. And it worked because there are like different type of superheroes out there. You don't want them to always just make jokes all the time, and it worked. As like this serious person who's just trying to do exactly what he's supposed to do. And I relate to that because sometimes that's how I am in real life too. I'm just focused on doing what I have to do, and then maybe when I'm done and stuff, I like to make jokes, but that's like separate. Work first. That's my mentality. And I did so it really did help make it a little more interesting, this feud between Hawkman and Black Adam, although it wasn't a fair fight, because Black Adam's a whole lot stronger than Hawkman, but you still felt the tension there. And the whole time he was just like taking care of the people that Black Adam tried to kill, and he was like telling him, you can't do this if you were going to be a hero. And the guy's like, I'm not trying to be a hero, so I don't care. And then basically they're fighting. The second character that stood out was Dr. Fate. Dr. Fate seemed very similar to Doctor Strange in terms of his powers. He had the multiple versions of himself, the different spells and all that stuff. I thought was pretty good. It wasn't too like out of the ordinary or too like crazy visually, which really looks great when you have like these type of magic characters in the story. But I really did like him. Pierce Brosnan is a great actor, so it was really great to see that. And he really was a good foil. He was a good character to put next to Hawkman with his ultra seriousness, and the other guy, he's more like laid back. And he's like, yeah, we got to do exactly what we have to do. I'm getting tired. I'm ready to retire. And then, we also had the character of Cyclone and Atom Smasher. Atom Smasher was a little funny. He wasn't very useful. But there was a scene where Atom Smasher was trying to fight Black Adam, and he like trips over and he actually takes out Hawkman. So that made me chuckle. But he wasn't very useful. I guess he was trying to go, I would say, similar to like Flash, the way they used him in the Justice League movie, where he's like, oh, I'm new to this, I'm just trying to find my way and stuff. But he didn't really stand out to me too much. I thought he was okay. And then Cyclone, she was nice. She didn't really stand out to me too much. She didn't have too much to do. She was like, Atom Smasher, just less funny, just there to kind of be support and to make sure that the team feels like a team and not just a duo of Dr. Fate and Hawkman. So I thought that the characters were different and interesting. It wasn't a whole lot of story. Basically, at some point, Adriana hijacked the team saying that, you want this crown, then you're going to have to help me get my son because he got kidnapped, And I guess, that's supposed to be a reason to like rally together. I guess the real reason why they would listen to her is the fact that they're supposed to be the Justice Society, a team of superheroes who are trying to do good. So that's why they would help her out. But in reality, I don't understand why they listen to her because she has no powers or anything. If I was like one of the other characters and I knew that this was an important relic, I would have pushed her out of the way and been like, you know what, you can save your son, I don't care. I'm here to save this crown to make sure it doesn't get into the wrong hands. And then I would just leave. But I guess they're supposed to be like their morality that keeps them there together as a team. I liked Black Adam. I liked the team for the most part. I just found that a couple of characters didn't have too much things to do. I feel like when you have a superhero team, you have to kind of find a way to balance either everyone gets some screen time or to a certain extent, towards the end of the movie, everyone gets a chance to shine. as an important part of the team. Otherwise, it feels like, they're just extra people in the background. They were glorified extras, just they were famous actors, so then people paid attention to them. And, that's about it. I think that the other part about it was the Superman cameo. Remember, I said spoilers, so we're going to talk about that. His suit looked nice. I like the blue and red. It feels like a different tone. It's like a different Henry Cavill, who plays the actor Superman. So it feels different. And also the fact that we had Amanda Waller, who's really known for being in charge of the Suicide Squad. So what they were able to do was kind of make Black Adam's character and his characters feel like they're a part of the bigger DC world. So that was really great. And I heard that if this movie makes enough money, Dwayne Johnson's big plan is to use Superman and the Justice League and ideally have the Suicide Squad team up to fight him. Because, Dwayne Johnson is a really big wrestler. So he knows this idea of hyping up like these big matches, like these big characters going head to head to each other. And, they have to a certain degree, compete with Marvel. And Marvel's leading up to the great Secret Wars storyline where everybody's going to be fighting each other in this alternate universe type of thing. We'll be covering every single Marvel movie and show as it comes out. So that's something that they have to compete with because people are going to need a reason to come watch these movies. And so they always saw themselves as the direct competitors with Marvel, because they're two superhero teams. And so I am excited about the prospect of having Black Adam fight the Justice League and the Suicide Squad. But the only way that happens is if enough people go watch this movie. And I think 67 million is a solid start. Hopefully people keep watching it. Although the reviews are coming out as negative, a lot of fans who watch it are saying like it's pretty good. It doesn't make a lot of sense, but it's a pretty good movie. And I agree, it doesn't always make sense. It's not the strongest in terms of story, in terms of character development, but I did enjoy it. I like Dwayne Johnson. I like the Justice Society squad. So, I'm very interested to see what happens next. Hopefully Black Adam 2 will get to become to fruition and we'll see the big fight between Superman and Black Adam because Black Adam is really big in this movie and I want to see him fight Superman, who is definitely one of the biggest all-time greatest superheroes from DC, but also from comic book history. So I'm very excited. Thank you again for watching, guys. Don't forget to give this video a like. Let me know in the comment section below what you thought of the movie. If you've seen it or if you haven't seen it, let me know if you plan on watching it. I really do like to enjoy and engage with you guys, so definitely let me know what you thought of the movie. And I will see you in a couple of days. Because next, I want to review the trailer that came out for Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, and also the trailer for the holiday special, Guardians of the Galaxy. So I'll see you very soon.